Hello everyone, welcome to the first part of install the React Native e-commerce application. So in this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start to implement the React navigation stuff. So where we're gonna create a splash screen and set up the login screen and the main tab navigation. So in this video, the plan finally is to create this splash screen. And after that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have also a way to switch from which navigation. So that's gonna be the new way finally we do this in React Navigation, and I think that would be great. So for the logo and things like that, don't worry, I'm gonna put a link in the description where you can have access to a Dropbox folder. So you can add this PNG so everyone can follow the tutorial well. So yes, so first thing, what I've done, I just set up a Expo application, really simple. So I'm gonna just show you. Finally, for me, I use the command line. So if you didn't have the command line, just install it with npm install globally exp. What I did is I did x init, and after that, when you click, you just need to say x init, for example, I call that install. And finally, the only thing you need to say is choose a template and choose the blank and click enter. After that, cd inside your application and just run the command x start. So x start, that's gonna open this here. Open your simulator. If you are on Android also, you can do this. You just do after that x iOS or x Android. This is all I work for me. So in this video, we're gonna start with the app here with nothing inside that. First thing I want to do is adding my library I've created last week, so the React Native design utility. So I'm gonna show you all that go. You're gonna see the installation, it's really simple. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna install it really with this line of code. So I'm gonna open my terminal. So for those who don't know how to open a terminal with the keyboard, you just do finally, for me, it's a control and the back tips. So now here, I'm gonna use yarn, you can use npm. I'm gonna install the React Native design utility on my project. So just if you want to make sure, like you are in the good one, you can see here I have inside the good folder and I have my install. So now I'm gonna install the React Native design utility. And another package I'm gonna install, it's gonna be React Navigation. So I'm gonna wait this one it's finished, and I'm gonna install the React Navigation. So this is all I want to work now. It's the beginning of the video. We're gonna install all the dependency for this video. So for React Navigation, React Navigation, I want to install a version 2.11.2. So it's gonna be really important in this video to install the same version as what I'm gonna use, okay? Why I want to do this is because I see a lot of person get bug because library get kind of update, change their API and things like this. So I just think if we have all the same version, that's gonna just go pretty well. For the SDK of Expo, it's 29 right now. So we're gonna add the React Navigation 2.11.2, and everything gonna go well. I think we are not supposed to get any error message. We're gonna make sure. Perfect, now it worked. So the way my library work, it's first thing, I'm gonna want to initialize a theme. I'm gonna show you what that does. So just copy this command. I'm gonna put the repo in the description, and inside your mobile app, you just run this command. This thing gonna create a theme.js, okay? I'm gonna just move this file inside a src folder, theme. I'm gonna put that there, and I'm gonna even create a constant folder where I'm gonna put my theme. I should have done this in one shot, but so here, as you can see, we have this is the theme I gave you with React Native design utility. So you're gonna understand more and more when we're gonna start to build stuff. All this thing work, but finally it's just about like it's almost like I say in my repo description. This is like kind of Tailwind, but really React Native way. So where we have your color and stuff like that, where we can have your space, like your space for your margin, padding and things like this, all your font size, your weight, your spacing and things like this, and just to make all your stuff consistent. And why I want to use it in this tutorial, it's first for showing you how to use it, and secondly, it's because that's gonna just make the development much more quicker. So for initialize this library, we're gonna need to install from React Design Utility the provider. So I make use of the context API, and for that we're gonna need to have the provider around the app. Okay, so now if I do this and I refresh my screen, nothing's gonna happen. Okay, what now we can do, it's from this I want to have a box and I want to import the text from that. So now we can delete everything from React Native and remove the style. We can replace now the view with a box and the view with a box. So if you know React Native, you already know then that's gonna look like this. But now with my library, what we can do is just say I want it to be flex one and I want it to be center, so the text now is gonna be right in the middle. So you see already we see less code. And yeah, so this is what we're gonna do. So for starting, we're gonna create the screen folder. So this is where we're gonna put all the main screen of the application. So finally, where the thing about the page when you work with HTML and React. So here we're gonna create the index.js. So that's gonna be where finally we're gonna start to do all the navigation. From here, what we're gonna install. Sorry, I'm gonna even put that bigger for you, like that. Can it work? Yeah. So here we're gonna import from React Navigation, three function. So create stack navigator for doing the stack navigator. Here, as you can see, is already the new way of doing the navigation. We're gonna have also the switch navigation, with this gonna be used to have the splash screen and the authentication screen and the main screen as a switch. And we're gonna have also the button tab navigator. Really important, because if you do with the create tab navigator, that's gonna be deprecate. I don't know when, but that's gonna be. After that, I'm gonna need to have my import React component from React. If you didn't see the first video, first thing I really want you to see it, but all this autocomplete stuff I'm gonna show you this Friday. So here we're gonna start by building the alt navigator. Okay, so it's gonna be really simple. There's gonna be a stack navigator where we're gonna have a screen here called login. For doing this, we're gonna create the first screen called login screen. I like to put screen at the end of my name. Why? Because when I do Command P or Control P, I can just type screen and now I see all my screen just like that. Here that's going to be a plain React component, login screen. And now from here, what I can do, it's importing from my design utility library. We can import a box, it's the same as the view, and the text. And now what I want to do, it's box and put here text and say login screen, and just put that inside a flex one, and I'm gonna also say center. Yet you didn't see the power of this library, but I'm gonna show you in a moment. So here inside my login, I'm gonna have a function here called get screen. Okay, this get screen, it's a function finally who can return finally kind of the import, and I want to get that from my login screen just like that. So here I have my alt navigator. I want to do the same with my tab navigator. So my tab navigator in this tutorial is going to be finally kind of not the main, but yeah. So the tab navigator, for those who don't know, it's the little tab we have here below, and you're gonna just find it, understand it better when we're gonna jump on this code later. But finally, it's the same as the tab navigation in the last version of React Navigation. So here we're gonna have the home. Okay, I'm really bad in naming and stuff for the first screen, so I always call that home. So this stuff, what we can do, it's I'm gonna just copy this file here, paste that, change the name to be home screen, command D here home screen, and change that to be home. You can see just for going faster. After that, I'm gonna take this line, paste that there, and change that to be home screen. So here we have the tab, we have the home. We need to create the main navigator. So the main navigator is going to be a stack. Why that? It's because sometimes we're going to have modal and things like this, and I like to have this way. So here we're going to have the home, and I call that tab navigator. We can also call that tab. I think it's going to make more sense. And finally, we're going to have the app navigator. So this one is going to be the most important part, and this one's going to be a switch. So if you don't know what is a switch, but you know what is a switch in JavaScript, you already know what that's going to do. So here, we're going to start with a splash. We're going to start with doing a copy again of login screen, paste it, change login screen here to be splash screen. So as you know, a splash screen is the screen, is the first screen finally we always see. And in this one, it's going to be this one here. So that's going to be the screen will flash before jumping to the next part of the application. So we're going to use that, say splash screen. Sorry. And now this one's going to be the same thing as this one. So splash screen. If you don't know why we need to use the default, it's because we export default is that will be an object. We can have make use of the object and replace that like I don't know, like a splash screen. But because it's the default, this is what we need to do. It's JavaScript stuff. So here, after the curly bracket here, I'm gonna put an initial root name just to make sure. Then I want to start with this screen, because after that I'm gonna put the out, who's gonna be equal to the out navigator, and the main, who's gonna be equal to the main navigator. So you know it's a switch statement. So think about like when if splash, I show splash, when it's out, I show out, and when it's main, I show main. Why we do this is because if you pass from the out navigator to the main navigator, you don't want to have all the screen behind, because you're gonna start to lose performance if you start to push a screen on top of other screen every time. So now we can just start with another kind of navigation. So now I'm gonna create my component. So there's gonna be a navigation. I'm gonna call it this way, and this thing gonna just return for now the app navigator. You're gonna know why I do this in some video, other video, why I want to have my navigation as a component, because sometimes we're gonna want to pass props here, and you're gonna see with this it's gonna be much more simpler. So now to make sure that that's gonna work, inside the app.js we're gonna import this. So we're gonna import navigation, because we export default, we can make use of that this one from screen. And now we're gonna just replace this box because we don't need it, and we put the navigation. Now if that works and that don't break, we're gonna see splash screen like that. Okay, so you see, if I refresh, I always get to the splash screen. If your question is why, it's because the app navigator is the one we start here, and initial root name is a splash, so that's why we always show the splash. The beauty of this, it's now, for example, in my component in model of my splash screen, I'm gonna call something called check out. So that's gonna be a function we're gonna make use in the future. It's gonna be where we're gonna check the async storage if the user is logged or not. And what I can do here, just to demonstrate you, it's I want finally to push this screen navigation. So the props navigation we get because it's a screen, navigate because we want to navigate somewhere else, and now here I'm gonna say out. Okay, so you're gonna see after 2 seconds we're gonna jump to the login screen. You see, so this is the switch. So if you understand what I try to show you, it's gonna be something like that. If log example, we're gonna do the main. If else, we're gonna show the out. So now we're gonna design this stuff, but firstly we need to have the logo. So inside my iSet, I'm gonna put the img folder, and I'm gonna finally just take my logo inside my computer and put them there. don't worry, again in the description I'm gonna put a link where you can download the image, so at the Outbox folder, or you can just go even on the repo and take them from there. It's your choice here. So now the way I like to work with this is I'm gonna have image constant image object in my constant folder, and this is where I'm gonna put all my image exported. You're gonna see why in a moment I do this. So I'm gonna call that logo, and I'm gonna say require. So now I just need to show my asset, my image, and my brand logo PNG. Okay. After this, if you follow Expo a bit, you know then they have a preloading and caching asset. So that's gonna be just to make it faster when you have a lot of image and things like this. Like you want them to already be a preload, so that's gonna just like be really fast. Like they're gonna be in the string. You don't gonna need to wait for that. So the way that works is they have this function right there. So we're gonna create another folder inside the SRC called util. Inside the util, we're gonna create a file called cache image.js. We're gonna paste this one. We're gonna export it. We're gonna import image from React Native, and we need also to import from Expo asset. So if you don't understand what happened here, it's pretty simple. It's here the cache image receive an array of image, so that's why you can use of map. Here that's going to be one image. Here we're going to check if the type of image is a string. If this is a string, we're going to prefetch it with the image module of React Native. If not, we're going to just take it from the module and we're going to download it. So finally we're going to preload it, and after that, when this is kind of a string, we can show it to the user. And they have more description here, so if you want to know it, that's going to be there. I'm going to put the link in the description. So now all that's going to start in the app if we want to do some caching. So the way that's going to work is going to be pretty simple. It's first thing, we're going to import from my SRC constant image file. We're going to import image because I want all my image there, and I'm also gonna want to have my cache image function. Now here what I'm gonna do, it's inside my component. I'm gonna start with a state called is ready for. So I don't want to show my app yet. So the way to do this is if I'm not ready. So if I'm not ready, here I can show something. So what I'm gonna show is gonna be my box. And now I want to show from React Native, I'm going to show the activity indicator right there with a size of large. If you don't know what is the activity indicator, it's a little loading spinner. For the box, I want this to be a flex one. I want also to center the activity indicator, and I want the background color to be white. So this background color gonna search inside the theme, and they're gonna take the white color. So for now, it's just plain white. So if it's not ready, I show this. So right now, this is what it's supposed to happen, because if you follow what happened here, it's always gonna stay false. So that's why we're gonna always show this. It's pretty nice. This is what we have. So now we're gonna start with a component in mount method, where we're gonna call a function called cache asset. We're gonna call this from the component in mount. And this cache asset is going to be an async function. This one here, we're going to have image asset. We're going to call the function cache image. This one needs to receive an array of a string, finally string, or the required stuff for your image. So if you see what we do in image, this is this require there. So the way we can do an array with an object to get just this kind of stuff, it's going to be object that values. Here you just pass your image. So we're going to create an array of just the values of this object. So that's going to be for us just the require. So here we're going to get that. After that, we're going to await promises that out. So promises that out, if you put your mouse over here in Visual Studio Code, create a promises that result with an array of result when all of the provide promises result. So finally, it finish when all the promise is result. And for that, we're gonna just pass the image asset. If you don't understand why I want to do the promise all here and not just a promises, it's because I want to add icon asset also in the future. So this way, that's gonna be just a really simple implementation. So here, when it's done, we're gonna just say is ready. Now it's true. So when my image are cached, I'm ready to show the screen. So now here we show the splash screen, and as you can see, with the set timeout, we go back to the login screen. So now we can close this windows with Command W, and jumping to the splash screen. For now, I'm gonna just remove this set timeout because I want to keep here to design. So now we're gonna need to import from React Native the image, because if we look in the sketch, we need to put the logo right here in the top. So for adding the logo, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get them from my constant image file, so like that. How we can show the logo is gonna be pretty simple. We just say image, and now here we can say source, and just pass your image.logo, and that's gonna do the job because it's already the require. And now you see we get the logo right there in the middle. After that, what do we need? We need the in star text here. So here I'm gonna put the text in star. See, it's right there. So the way I want it, you see here we're gonna have some margin at the bottom of the logo. So what we can do is wrap the image inside a box. And for my box, if you want to get margin button, first letter of my margin button are M and B, so MB. And the way that works is inside my theme, we're gonna hit now the space. So space is gonna be this stuff. So if you want a margin button of 16, you say small. If you want one for 24, it's MD. 36 it's large, and 40 it's X large. You can change the value here, no worry about that. So for us, I think we're gonna start try to see with the small, and I think it's kind of the same. After that, this text here, as you can see, if we look, they have a size of 32. So if I go to my theme, my font size, I don't have 32, so I can create it right there. So I'm gonna create a 2x large because I want to keep my 24 with my x large here, and I'm gonna say 32. So if I refresh, nothing's gonna break. But now the beauty of this, it's now my text. Now I can put 2x large right there, and 2x large. Did I make a typo? Oh, sorry. Oh, I know why. Sorry about this. We cannot do this way yet. This is something I want to do, but so what we're gonna do is just change the x large right there. Sorry about this, and we're gonna just say finally size x large. So you see, this is the 32. I'm gonna change it. Don't worry about this. That's gonna be fixed. So now here we have the text in star and the message right there. So the x large here is 32, but as you can see in the sketch, the star it's green. So the way we can do this, it's wrap this star inside another text. So I can say text, not text area, but like that, and just put star. So if we do this, now the star becomes small. So you need also to have the same size. So now if I put the same size, we are good. But now this one needs to have a color, and I'm gonna say green because that's gonna be the one we have here, but it's not the same green. So all we can get the same green is just, I'm gonna give you the color. So if we select the text, the green is this thing 42 B0 to 9. So now I can take that, go to my theme, and I want that to be my my green I'm always gonna use when I say green. So I can change it right there. So now this is the good green. So now we have the install right there, and what we left to do is this message called easy grocery shopping. So I can take this, put it there, and just put that right there. So easy grocery shopping. If you don't know why it's bigger than what React Native always give us, is because the font size by default is going to be this base. Okay, so it's 16 right now, and I'm pretty sure here we use 14. So for using 14, it's going to be already simple because we can just use x small. it's the value right there. So size, not x small, sorry, small. So now we see easy grocery shopping. If we look back here, we have a bit about a margin here. So the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna wrap this text inside a box. I like to put this way, so it's like a wrapper who can have a margin, and I'm gonna make use of the same margin I have there. So I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's nice. So here, as you can see, we have the basic implementation of the splash screen. So the splash screen, if you don't know what it's gonna do yet, like I told you, is gonna just check if we have the GWT token inside async storage, and after that you're gonna push the screen we need. So for now, just for testing, I'm gonna show you, and after this you show the logging screen. But the logging screen right now have a headers, and we don't gonna have a headers, so we can already fix that, and that's gonna be the last thing for this video. So inside the alt navigator, we can just, oops, not here, here we can just put navigation option, and here just say headers to be null, like that. Now we're good. And finally, inside the login screen, inside the BG here, I'm gonna just say finally BG white, because I want my background to be white right there. So you see login screen. Yeah, so I think that's it for this video. The next one, we're gonna design the login screen. So we're gonna have the Google and Facebook authentication. So it's gonna be really simple to do this part. As you can see, one of the things we're gonna start in the next video is to build just a component here, because it's kind of the same. So we want to get the same size and everything, so we're gonna create a component for that. And after that, we can create button here for this Google and Facebook authentication. So I hope you enjoy this video. And yes, so let me know in the comment if you like it, if you think it's too fast, you think I need to go slower, if you think my font it's not good enough, if you don't like my color scheme. Any question finally? Again, the link is going to be in the description for everything. So the expo stuff, my library if you want to see how to initialize the theme. Also, I'm going to put the Dropbox link for the icon. And yes, so I hope you enjoy. Oh yeah, last thing, the repo is going to be there also. So I hope you enjoy, and we're going to talk in the next one tomorrow.